Eating disorders, it's a little bit like the rasas we talked about last week. They can be there, let's say, related to the desire of every chakra. And that's why, we cannot all compare them. When people come with an eating disorder, I treat people quite a lot like that. I always have to talk to them to find out where this is really like anchored in themselves, or maybe there's two areas, maybe. Even a 6 chakra person can develop an eating disorder, because a 6 chakra person very much gets attached to the neutral energy. And that neutral energy most easily comes when you are not digesting. As long as you're still digesting something, and especially if that upper part of the digestive system, the stomach and the intestine that comes right after it, is still very much involved, then very difficult to have that subtle sattvic neutral feeling. And then you can see that people have to watch out not to become too thin, that they have to eat enough to supply the body with the nutrients and the energy that it needs. So that is one example. Then maybe in the 5th chakra, I guess that would be the kind of people who are so much involved in reading books that they forget to eat. That's another kind of eating disorder. Then definitely also there in 5th chakra, people can have an eating disorder because they are having a problem to speak, which means they are in some kind of relationship where they are not allowed to say what they want to say. They are oppressed somehow, and that really can bring a strong blockage in the throat area, which makes swallowing very difficult, and then they also don't feel like eating. That is also possible. In 4th chakra, definitely if they feel very hurt in their love, then eating disorders will be of two kinds. Either they will try to compensate for that absence of love by eating lots of sugar and sweets and chocolate and other things which give them the neurotransmitters that somehow suit that kind of feeling. So that is then where you get the real food addictions, which you would maybe expect in 2nd chakra, but that is not where you find the biggest food addictions. Biggest food addictions are in people who feel hurt and who do not feel loved and who try to comfort themselves by, using their taste buds to create an artificial feeling, endorphins, serotonin, all these things. So same, way in 4th chakra also I have seen eating disorders with people who are hurt also somehow. They are feeling very sad, and so they don't want to eat because that somehow to them belongs to that connection that they had before. Like maybe before they were having a love relationship, and if you're living together and you're in love, then you're also cooking and eating nice things and treating each other nicely this way. And so then that relationship ends, and then they don't want to get involved there anymore. So maybe they'll still eat enough, but they'll probably not eat very good, very healthy food, lots of junk food, because they can't care less. It's like part of that phase where they want to push away that love, and so in that way they push also the enjoyment that comes along with it. Then the 3rd chakra people are mostly going to have eating disorders which relate to how they look. So then you find anorexia, bulimia, these things, where people are really not eating enough because somehow they feel they are gaining too much weight and they want to look good, and that can really develop in quite a crazy kind of behavior, which to my experience also is very much spiritually influenced. So their spiritual healing definitely can make a major change. I once had a lady with anorexia and I could very easily heal her, and then she sent me like 8 or 9 people from the same talking group of people who had anorexia, and one after the other I could heal them very easily. Okay, these already had some years of therapy, some years of working with whatever was causing this thing, and they were quite ready to let go of that obsession, let's say, but still something was holding them back, which was more spiritual in nature, which I could remove. So then easily it left. That which then comes in second chakra is really an eating disorder which has to do with eating too much as an enjoyment, not so much then as a replacement for some emotion, but just enjoying the pleasing of these taste buds. These are then, I would say, the hedonists, the people, they call them foodies these days, who are very much into food, and that is actually a nice thing. I've known quite a few of them through my previous work. They really enjoy good food, but that does not necessarily mean that they eat too much. But still, many of them, if you see what are their eating patterns, then definitely in the long run, it will not be very healthy for them, to eat like that so much and to pay so much attention to, again, pleasing the taste buds. Then first chakra food disorder is again of a totally different nature, and we can find that in people who have lived through real poverty, and we can also find it in people who've had some very serious illness or accident maybe, and who have really feared for their lives in that way. So that very essential fear then for survival of the body causes a person sometimes also very obsessively to eat far too much. Not for the taste, but for the sense of security that it gives them to have like a very full stomach. That's like the only thing they then tell me that gives them peace. If they don't have that really full feeling, they become anxious. Memories of what happened before, they come back to them very easily. But there actually also spiritual healing is very efficient, because some element of spiritual influence is definitely also there, generated by that extreme fear that they had at the time whatever happened, Either that poverty, that really not knowing what was going to be in the fridge today, let alone tomorrow, or maybe some physical problem that they had which really made them fear for their life. That fear may have then also attracted something which in turn generates this kind of rather obsessive behavior. So food disorders are of many kinds, and each one requires a different kind of approach. Like the one I like to mention is the one of the hard chocolate candies that helps so much with those chocolate addicts which are really addicted to chocolate from the heart chakra, because they feel sad somehow and they are seeking the effect of the neurotransmitters that chocolate so, I would say, gloriously is able to generate inside of us. According to Western science, it is the food that actually has the biggest impact on our neurotransmitters. So that's why it's so popular. So there, to understand that, okay, you're after the taste, okay, why not? But that chocolate, especially in big amounts that you are consuming, is very much affecting your liver also, and creating a bad feeling in the long run. So for 10-15 minutes you eat quite a lot of chocolate. For 10-15 minutes you feel a little better because of the soothing effect of those neurotransmitters. Then, I don't know, half hour later your liver starts really malfunctioning, and 1 hour later you're really depressed, like also your sugar levels and so on. They go into highs and lows, and all sorts of things happen that again make you feel bad. And then what are you going to do? Have some more chocolate? No, it's not a sustainable kind of approach. No, so but then to have the hard chocolate candies, no biting, keeping them in your mouth, letting them melt in your mouth, then for 10-15 minutes, let's say one candy can last. So 10-15 minutes of neurotransmitters you will get, but only a little bit of chocolate you will have ingested. This is one of those simple tricks actually which work very well, with people. If they can a little bit stick to the non-biting, there's some pleasure also in biting somehow, which sometimes people cannot let go, but usually it works very well. So, but different things are needed in different cases. Eating out of boredom, but then still having bulimia, meaning vomiting, then not to gain weight. This is really a depressive behavior. It's also quite self-destructive. And to my experience, always some spiritual energy is involved. Because, to do that is really quite crazy, And maybe to do it once, okay, but to develop this habit of eating a lot and then vomiting just to get, that's crazy. And so there definitely spiritual healing may be needed, or otherwise it may take a long time for that person to somehow or other put a stop to it. But so depression, for sure, it brings all kinds of addiction, so food addiction is one of them. And depression then we find in all the chakras again.